Oh yeah, we live. Shadowbammed number 3. And I'm gonna be eating on this O too, because goddamn. About to send it to Twitter. And I'm about to put the invite link in the chat. Pow. Yeah. Shadowbammed number 3. Let me say this before anybody gets in here. There's a reason why your boy is shadow banned. Like, there's a reason why We Made It podcast could never really take off the way it should have. And once again, it's my fault. Um, I was gonna tweet this last night. I was telling Caesar because I saw some post that Juve put up. It was they were asking the players when they're going to training who's their favorite artist. So like some dude came out, he was like Gunna. Somebody was like somebody else. But I saw something, and I've seen this a few times. Moises King came out, and right next to him, Weston McKennie, aka Weston McKennie. Moises King, I think he said Lil Baby and NBA Youngboy. No, he said Kodak Black and NBA Youngboy. Now, I'm looking at Moises King, it's like, dog, you are from Italy. Okay. You speak English, obviously, but I'm like, dog, you're telling me you can understand Kodak Black? Like even NBA Youngboy, like NBA Youngboy, like you know what I mean, like you can kind of understand them, but like you're telling me you can understand Kodak Black? Do you even know what NBA Youngboy is talking about? Like he's literally talking about killing people the whole time. I guess he got some other stuff going on, but yeah, um, I do. I was gonna tweet this, but I didn't. I forgot. But I feel like actually, forget that. I feel like I know that Moises Keene is like coaching up Weston McKennie on how to be black. Like Weston McKennie is getting some black swag from Moises Keene. And that should be the other way around. Like if I went out there when I'm 23 or whatever, like Moises, like you know, as an American black person, like when like some fobs get around you and they're like love black culture, they're just like, oh my god, like tell me, like you know, like oh, do you know about this person, like you know what I mean? But I feel like McConan, aka Weston McKennie, is like he's like seeing Moises King doing the dances, he's like doing the squabble, whatever, and he's like, "Ooh, how do you do that?" Like, "Oh, what's that? The gritty? What is that?" He's like, "Oh, is that Kodak Black? Oh, I heard about him." NBA Youngboy, who does he play for? Yeah, that's what I think is going on with Moises Keene and Weston McKennie. Okay, let's be real. Before we get into the topics, we're going to be talking about goalies and this whole sin bin concept. We know that in America, soccer is not a black sport like that. It is what it is. And all the black kids that play soccer, they wasn't really like that. You know what I mean? They was saying, whatever. I'm not clowning them because, you know, it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. But we know that, not that they had to be in the hood, But you know what I'm saying? They was probably, you know what I mean? Their girlfriends was listening to Taylor Swift. And it's all good. But somebody like Moises Keane, he's like, damn, he's going to be infatuated with Black American culture. Like, he probably want to go to the hood if you take him out here. He's like, damn, dude, okay, that's the beach, that's cool, but, like, where's the black people at? Like, do they just dance all day on the street and, like, do crump battles? But I wish Caesar was here for this. But I didn't tweet it. If I did, it's just more Shadowbammed. I've been reckless on Twitter. I can't help it, yo. Like, sometimes you just gotta say shit. You know what I'm saying? You need some controversy. Anyway, we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about goalies. We seen yesterday, what's full name? Andre Onana. We saw him yesterday be the ultimate gaff man, playing against Galatasaray in Istanbul. He messed up, yo. He cheated to the left on one free kick by Hakeem Ziyech. He cheated to the left, and the thing went right by him. Why he cheated to the left, I don't know. You have to trust your wall, homie. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you got to trust your wall. Like, you got Harry Maguire in the wall. He's like 6'4". Like, trust your wall. He cheated over. Some little dink free kick goes right by him. Then in the second one, he like saves it, but he like ends up hitting it into the goal somehow. And I was like, come on now, that might be an investigation. And then in the third one, I mean, like, whatever. Like, the dude shot a rocket at him. What up, Alex? We're talking about goalies right now. Like, I haven't gotten to it all the way yet. Before that, I was talking about Moises Keane is teaching Weston McKennie how to be black. But I'm not going to get into that again. But so on the third goal, Onana, he got beat on his near post. You know, that happens. But it's like, dog, if you're supposed to be like a super duper elite, like, and after you already made them two mistakes, like, I'm sorry, dog, like, you're just looking terrible. But here's what I got to say about it. And we're not going to be in here too long this time. I don't know. We'll see, actually. Maybe we will. Here's what I have to say, and this is what I've been saying for a long time. You see Andre Onana, he was the man at Ajax. Then he went to Inter. No, I'm sorry. While he was still at Ajax, then he was doping. He got banned for a bit. He went to Inter. He balled out at Inter. Like, he's the guy. Like, they're like, oh my God, this is like the next dude. Like, he's amazing. He comes to Man U, and he's, you know, making mistakes. Now, granted, I didn't watch Inter last year. I just seen him a couple times in Champions League. But I'm sure he made some mistakes at Inter too. Now, in Serie A, like, you're getting less shots on goal, so it's probably not even that serious. But he's made some big mistakes this season with Man U. But here's what I got to say. All the goalies are the same. All the goalies are the same. You give me a goalie, basically, like, the top, the look at the standings. Like, look at the top 7 teams. Basically, all those goalies are the same. They're all going to make mistakes. They're all going to make amazing saves. But they're all going to be kicking the ball out of bounds sometimes. They're all going to do the same thing. Every single goalie makes big mistakes sometimes. Sometimes they make big-ass mistakes. We've seen Donnarumma do it. We've seen Thibaut Courtois do it. We've seen Keylor Navas do it. We've seen homeboy, what's the dude from Juve? Gigi Buffon do it. Is he still playing? Jesus. We've seen Gigi Buffon do it. We've seen David De Gea do it. Even David De Gea is like, he was getting clowned one season, and then the next season, like, oh, he's really good. It's like it goes like back and forth with this dude. Either way, like they're all gonna make big mistakes sometimes, and they're all gonna make amazing saves sometimes. That's just what it is when you're a goalie. Like, I remember watching, what's his name? I'm trying to think of his first name. Areola? What was his first name? Anyway, the dude from what he used to be on PSG, but he's on West Ham now. I remember watching him at PSG, and I'm like, dog, like, he's good. Like, he's solid. Like, Alphonse Areola. I'm like, you're not going to get a goalie that much better than him. Honestly, like, he's solid. Like, he makes saves. He's strong. And sometimes he makes a mistake here and there. It is what it is. They got the little pretty dude from Germany, Kevin Trapp. Same thing. But I feel like Kevin Trapp's confidence got kind of messed up at some point. Then they got Keylor Navas. And Keylor Navas is good, but like he would make mistakes sometimes. Then they got Donnarumma on a free. And what's Donnarumma done? Make saves sometimes and then make some big mistakes sometimes. But I'm like, you could have. Yeah, I'm eating some Trader Joe's cereal right now. You know what I'm saying? It's early. It's not that early. What you eating on? I'm vegan, so I'm not having no bacon or nothing like that. Although there are some good vegan bacons out there. The best vegan bacon, they put too much like hickory flavor in there. So when you cook it, it's like overwhelming. Anyway, these goalies, they're all the same. You got a goalie today. Look at Martinez from Aston Villa. Why do you think he's on Aston Villa? But this fool's so good. He won the World Cup. He'd be on a bigger club. I'm sure it's because in his career he's made some big ass mistakes, and they're like, yeah, he's unreliable. The World Cup is different. Or like saving penalties in the World Cup is different. Saving penalties is a guessing game. Like, and then it's like, how strong you are, like how much you can like push off the ground and like how much distance you can cover. But they're basically all the same. Like, you're going to save the penalty or you're not. Like, it ain't like, oh my God, like he's so good at saving penalties. There was some dude, he used to be a goalie on Sevilla. I forgot his name. He used to save hella penalties. Then he tore his ACL or something like that. But like, Emi Martinez, there's a reason he's on Aston Villa, because he's just like the rest of them. You think that he couldn't play on Man U right now? Sure. I don't even know how they determine who's going to be the starter goalie. Like, how do you even determine that? Like, I would just be like, look, 15 penalties, whoever saves the most, you'll be the goalie. And like, who like can like kick the ball into the trash can as many times, or like you win the crossbar challenge. Like, how do you even determine? Like, if you put Onana next to like, let's say Areola, like they're not going to be that different, dude. They're not. The goalies are all the same, dude. How many times has somebody been watching a match? You go in to watch your team play, and like you're watching, and you don't even know who the goalie was. Like, oh, like the backup goalie starting. Even right now for Real Madrid, Thibaut Courtois got hurt. Then Kepa's in. And then, like, I guess Kepa's hurt right now, and some other dude is in there. And, like, he's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it isn't like It isn't like, oh my god, like you gotta like protect him. Like, no, dude, he's fine. Like he'll make the saves, dude. Like he'll do it. He'll do what he's supposed to do. Like it's just not that crazy. Um, what? So yeah, dude. I'm just here to say the goalies are the same. Like when they're out here, like like when Chelsea paid like a 60 million transfer fee for Kepa or whatever it was. I'm like, dog, why? Then he got benched. Then they brought in Mendy for like probably the same amount. Homeboy playing Saudi Arabia now. Like, doggy, it's just not that big of a deal, dude. Like, you're really tripping thinking that these goalies are that serious. It blows my mind that there's not more homegrown goalies, like goalies that's from the academy. Because everybody wants to be a striker, but when you realize what like let's say a kid is like 12 and he realized like, okay, like I'm not like that good, I gotta be a goalie. Like if you're a goalie from like 12 to like 18, like dog, like what? That's 6 years of being a goalie in the academy and stuff. Like, yeah, that guy should be your starter. Like I wonder how many teams have a goalie that like is from their academy. Like I feel like that's not even a thing, and that's insane. Like you really got teams out there like, oh, we're trying to get the hot new goalie. Like, dog, are you kidding me? A goalie is as good as their defense, and I don't mean like the defenders. I mean like the defense, like the team defense. Like, like it blows my mind that they say a clean sheet is like a goalie stat. Like, no, like that's the team stat. Like count saves, but don't even count like don't count a save where he just caught it. Like count a save where he had to like jump and like you know what I mean, like an actual save. But it's like, dude, a goalie is just as good as like a goalie is as good as like how many shots they get on target. Like if you're shipping shots the whole time, like some of them are gonna go in. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah. Anyway, goalies is just like not that serious. And yeah, Andre Onana had a bad game yesterday. Like he had a bad game. Like he cost Man U the game because those were like mistakes that you don't want to do. But we've seen every goalie do some shit like that before. Every single goalie. Now, have they done it 3 times? Yeesh. Like, you know, we've all seen the goalie like miss the ball when they're going to kick it. I've seen that a billion times. But I have seen goalies do some stuff where I'm like, investigate. Anyway. I should get on Alex for hating on Rodrigo. But I'm going to leave you alone. I want to talk about sin bins. This idea that they're talking about bringing into football. I guess MLS might try it first. Yeah, Rodrigo. Like, here's the thing about Rodrigo, yo. He's not as good as Vinicius Jr. I feel like you just can't. Okay, like he came in with Vinny. Like he gets compared to Vinny. They're like the same size. He's just not as good as Vinicius Jr. Like, and I do feel like I don't know about you, but I remember like some Real Madrid fans trying to like at some points try to say like Rodrigo's better than Vinny. So I think that season where he's scoring them goals in Champions League, and even before that, I'm like, no, dude, he's not. Like Vinicius Jr. is just a more dynamic player, period. Vinicius Jr. has some of the worst shot power, you know. Like Rodrigo has better shot power than him. But like he's not Vinny, and you just can't expect him to be Vinny. Like he's a winger, he's solid, like he's just not Vinny, you know? So like the goals you get from him, like is to be celebrated. I feel like with Rodrigo, it's like you're happy, like don't be giving up the ball, defend. If you're like on the wing, defend, and like get you some shots on target, you know? Like cool. But like to think that he's gonna be doing what Vinicius Jr. does, like he can't do that. You know what I mean? but like he's better than what Gareth Bale was over there for like the past three, like the last 3 seasons. I do think it's good that Rodrigo can really play on like either wing, but like he can play on that right wing, and that puts Valverde in the midfield, because I feel like Valverde is like better as a true midfielder with somebody in front of him. But anyway, this whole sin bin concept. So let me look at this article. It says MLS and EPL could introduce sin bins to punish players and also extend VAR involvement. Well, we know about VAR already, but so they're talking about basically having a situation where the sin bin would be like similar to like the penalty box in hockey, where a player will be forced off the field for a certain amount of time, like as a punishment. Now, this is Mark Bullingham, Chief Executive of the Football Association and Director of IFAB. He's saying this should be the reason. He says, I think frustration for fans when they're watching games when they see a promising counterattack that's ruined by that. By that, he means a like tactical foul. And the question of whether a yellow card is sufficient for that has led us to looking at whether that should be involved in the protocol as well. That meaning sin bins. He says some players do commit a foul and they do it consciously knowing they're going to get a yellow, and we think that really breaks up the game. So would they not do it if they felt there was going to be a sin bin? Now, let me just say this. If you're trying to get tactical fouls out of the game, like that's ridiculous. Like if you're trying to get tactical fouls, just give a red card for a tactical foul then. Like do that. Like give a red card for if a player like grabs the player where there's a counterattack. Like do that then. But don't try to say, okay, if you do a tactical foul, you're going to get a yellow card and you're going to be out of the match for 8 minutes or whatever. Like, that's ridiculous. Whatever, Ivana, 100% agree. Yes. Like, I feel like football is so, like you can't, like, it's simple. Like, in a tactical foul, like, first of all, like, you swear like these teams are going to score on every counterattack anyway. Like, stop it. Like, a counterattack is like a 30% chance you're going to score, if that. Like, it literally like a 15% chance you're going to score on a counterattack. But to try to, like, rule out tactical fouls with a sin bin, it's like, okay, let's say there's a counterattack at the 30th minute. This player does a tactical foul. Okay, he gets a yellow card. He's out for 10 minutes. Because I only saw 10 minutes. Okay, there's another counterattack. Another guy does a tactical foul. Okay, he's in the sin bin for 10 minutes. So now this team is playing with 8 outfield players. Like, that's ridiculous, dude. Okay, another counterattack at like the 44th minute in the first half. Okay, so now this will get a yellow card and he's in a joint for like the next 3 minutes, I guess, added time counts, and then like the next 7 minutes in the next half. Like, come on, dude. Like, so you got to play with 7 players. Now, I don't know if they're going to implement this, but if they implement it in MLS, like, oh my God. MLS is a joke. If they really do this, like maybe you can do it in like preseason tour, but to really like do it like in your home. Exactly, Ravana. I don't necessarily trust the refs to determine what it is and isn't a tactical foul. You know what? That's actually a great point, because sometimes a player is like trying to like stop the counterattack and they end up fouling the player, but they weren't trying to foul him. Like, it may like they're going for the ball and it's like determined to foul, or even they can get the ball and it's still determined to foul. That's not a tactical foul, but like it could have stopped a counterattack, which is different than like a player just like grabbing a player. But is it though? Like, what's the difference? I feel like stopping a counterattack is stopping a counterattack at the end of the day. Like, and I don't think like fans get so mad about that. Like, do they? Like, I haven't been in like a Spanish football stadium. You know what I mean? Or like, I haven't been to like, you know, a Lazio game where they're like doing monkey chants. Like, do the monkey chants get louder if a black player does a tactical foul than if they do a regular foul? Like, does it go from like a macaque to like a chimp? Like, what happens if the player does a tactical foul? Like, does it go from like chimp to gorilla? What's the deal? Like in Italy, when a black player does a tactical foul, where do the monkey chants? How do they, how are they being adjusted when it comes to certain fouls? Do the monkey chants, are they louder for a goal or a tactical foul? I think that this dude from this ref, I'd ask him that, like, hey, when you're in Russia and you're a black player, they don't really do the monkey chants harder off a tactical foul. But if you score, they will, you know. Probably if you score a hat trick, they're gonna, it's gonna sound like the whole like row of the apes in Planet of the Apes, like in the cages. Uh, Tactical foul is the point where they bring out the Lukaku doll and set him on fire. Ravana, you're wrong. You're wrong because you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna bring out a gorilla doll with a Lukaku jersey and set that on fire. But maybe you're uncomfortable typing that. I understand. But this is this is what I'm trying to determine here. I just feel like a tactical foul is like not even a big deal. Now, let me say this. One thing that bugs me a lot in football is the players crowding the ref. Like, that's the most annoying thing ever. Like, this isn't 1980. The ref is trying to hear what's going on. Like, you're screaming in his face. Like, maybe he can't hear. Maybe this is going to go your way. But he can't, like, just go somewhere. When I played sports, I never, like, the ref's going to make their decision, dude. Exactly. VAR is going to check it. Now, VAR could make a mistake. Obviously, we've seen that a million times. VAR is trash. But at the end of the day, like, screaming on the ref is not going to make a difference. The ref is going to be more influenced by the crowd, I think, than the players. The ref's going to get annoyed at the players. But like, now, if they wanted to do some penalty for like players screaming on the ref, because everybody knows, like, it's supposed to be the captain. The captain comes, talk to the ref. Now, a lot of times the goalie is a captain. Like, is this fool supposed to run like 60 yards, come talk to the ref? That's ridiculous. But why are you making a goalie a captain? I don't know. Like, this fool doesn't even play for real. But if I feel like that could be a reason to like have this like penalty box. Saying sin bin is ridiculous. I'm like done saying that term. But yeah, if you want to have a penalty box for that, like maybe. I don't love it, but like if you have a player that's like screaming on you, if you're the ref, and like you don't want to necessarily, like, let's say you give him a yellow card for screaming on you and he's like still doing it. Like maybe you don't want to give him a red card and you'd be like, okay, you got to like sit for 5 minutes. But here's the other thing. That's going to slow down the game so much because you got to wait for this fool to walk off the pitch. Then when his time's back, like, I don't know, like, does he just get to run back on anytime? Like, when does he get to go back on the pitch? Is it like a sub where you have to like wait for a dead ball? Because then he could end up getting like 8 minutes in the penalty box. We've shot many holes into this idea. It's really dumb. I don't think it needs to happen in football. I'm not a hockey watcher. Although I do like hockey, like I do like to watch hockey. I would watch hockey if I could see the puck. I can't really see the puck on TV. Like, I'm like, yo, like I can't see it. Like, and I remember back in the day, like Fox or something used to have like some little like trail on the puck. I'm like, okay, like I can kind of see it. I can watch the Calgary Flames play, but like I tried to watch them, like I can't see the puck, so it's like not really that fun for me. But hockey as a sport, I think is like really dope. I don't really know what's the difference between like, and obviously in a lot of ways, hockey and soccer are similar, but I don't really understand like what are the pros and cons of a penalty box in hockey? Like, are there people in hockey that are like they need to get rid of the penalty box? I don't know, um, but I just don't think it's. But you know what? Once again, hockey the rink is small, obviously compared to a football field, so it's not the same, and it's less players. Um, So maybe they could like figure out like how you're going to bring players back on, but I just feel like it's going to slow down the game a lot, and it's just a bad idea. Like I'm not really feeling the whole penalty box slash sin bin idea. But if they do it in MLS, like MLS is a joke. It's just like, dude, like what is even this league? Like Messi, you're such a loser for going to MLS. If they're literally doing penalty boxes now, like, can you like? I think in EPL, if they like tried it, like I think the fans would revolt. They'll just be like, "We're not doing that." But like maybe they won't at certain matches because if it's just the other team going in there, they'll be like, "Cool, oh, this is great." But like over time, they'll just be like, "No, this is ridiculous." Like I just can't see it, and like it just, I think it puts too much power in the refs' hands. I guess they're also talking about like VAR getting more involved in like corners and different things like that. Um, I guess I'm not like so like opposed to that. Like I don't know. I'm just like okay. Like if you're gonna use VAR for like goal scoring plays and like sometimes it was there a foul on that goal or whatever. Like should you use it for other stuff too? Like like should there be like a camera on the out of bounds line to see if the ball went all the way over? Like I'm not necessarily opposed to that. Um, because I just feel like why let this technology be used for one aspect of the match and not the other. Although I'm against VAR though. Like I feel like VAR should be gotten rid of. Like, you know what? Actually, let me take that back. Like, I'm not opposed to there being VAR on like a goal scoring play. Like, I'm not necessarily opposed to that because like when the NFL adopted that, like I like that. Like, check the instant replay on a goal scoring play, especially in soccer because like a goal means so much. So like I'm not necessarily like opposed to it, but I just feel like VAR as it is just so arbitrary and like the shit like the refs just aren't good enough, I guess. But yeah, um shadow band number 3, you know. Oh wait, did I say shadow band? Shadowbammed. I feel like every episode in the beginning I'll like talk about another controversial opinion in football that would get me shadow banned. I had one this morning earlier. I'm not gonna repeat it, but you could go back and listen to what ridiculous shit I was saying about some other players. There's not going to be an episode tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. There's not going to be an episode of Shadowbammed tomorrow. I'm not going to do them on the weekends because people are up early watching football. So I should be back Monday. Subscribe to the channel. Maybe if you want to put the notification bell, like it'll let you know if I'm going live, but it probably won't because I am shadow banned. What else? And yeah, there's always I did talk about your boys at Manu a little bit. I talked about what's his name? Onana. But mostly I just talked about how all goalies are basically the same. Um, that was like mostly the thing. I didn't really do like a recap of the Man U match, but if you want to come in and talk about it for a little bit, you got another like 10 minutes. What were the other matches? The noon matches were like Arsenal beat the shit out of Lens and Bayern and Copenhagen drew, and like Real Madrid beat up on Napoli. So I feel like the other, like basically the big match that day was Galatasaray and Man U. But I just talked about how like Onana made them big mistakes, but like all goalies make those mistakes. But they don't usually make like 3 in one match or 2 in one match like that. Actually, they'd be making 2 in one match. But yeah, I mostly just talked about like how most goalie like the goalies are the same. Oh, Ray's in here. Gotta get your narrative off. Wait.
I knew not to get excited yesterday. 2 goals up, and I let myself feel something, and I should have known. I should have known that they could never keep that lead. And it's hard to watch when, like, in some ways every goal is Onana's fault, but also, the first goal doesn't happen if you play Varane. I'm convinced. Because the only reason Bruno had to make that foul, right, was because the center backs weren't there. They weren't covering that space. They weren't doing their jobs. They weren't, fulfilling their role. Varane clears. He's doing that. He's covering that space. So I can find a way to blame Harry Maguire for it even now.
I might have to disagree. I don't think Bruno had to make that foul, to be honest with you. But like, I don't even think that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Onana literally cheated left, and it's like, dude, trust your wall, dude. Just trust the wall. You have 2. It's not like Lisandro Martinez is in the wall.
Right.
You got Harry Maguire, big oaf, and you got Lindelof. Like, trust the wall, dude. Probably McTominay's in the wall too.
Right.
I don't know why he cheated left. Like, why? You're outsmarting yourself, dude. Like, you look dumb, dude. Like, you look so stupid doing that.
And then fumbling the ball, that was bad. The last goal, getting beat at your near post, shouldn't happen, but it was definitely the least offensive of all the goals that he let by. But like, there's a point right after he after the second goal he allowed, where he's like rolling on the ground because he got a little bit injured. And that at that point, the fact that he didn't pretend he was too injured to finish out the game is horrific to me. You at that point recognize that you have fucked up this match, and you say, damn, I pulled this muscle. I can't play anymore. You take yourself out of the game.
I think, he's they all talk about him saying like he's so cocky. I don't know if he's like is in real life, or they just like say that as far as like his playing style.
Yeah.
But you're a professional athlete, you think you can save the game at some point. But honestly, that second goal, I was like, investigate? Like, what's going on here?
Right.
I don't know about that one, dude. Like, that was a routine save. Mm-hmm. Like, to like have it go from like here to like there, I'm like, I don't know if that's an investigation.
Right. And like, yeah, the ball's wet, the pitch is wet, whatever. But you play in England, right? It's raining every day. You've never seen the sun.
Yeah, we played in Netherlands and North Italy. Like, come on, dude. Like, stop it.
Right. So, really, just no excuses. My boy McTominay missed a chance, but he also scored a goal, and that's all that matters to me. I was at the end of the game, I was gonna post the meme that's like the white girl save me, white girl, but about McTominay. Like, please. But bad substitutions. I forgot Antony was playing. He takes off Garnacho and puts on Pellistri. Fine, but you left Antony on, who absent the whole game.
You know what's funny? I don't know if you saw, but like the ESPN FC people were talking about how Antony had such a good game. Yeah, they were like, "Oh, he's such a good game." I'm like, really? Like, I don't even remember him taking a shot. Like, I remember him kind of like having some energy, but like, did he ever like challenge Muslera? Like, did he ever do that?
No, he had like a couple good moments in the 80th plus minute. He was not even present for most of the match. To say he had a good game is like just to admit you didn't watch it, because
literally
That is
Like,
not, or you just tuned it at the end, because that is not what fucking happened. Like, he doesn't create opportunities.
no.
He didn't have any, I don't even know if he took a shot, let alone a
Yeah, that's
shot on target.
yeah. I don't think he did. Big C's in the chat. Yeah, I don't remember him ever like you got a 37-year-old goalie who's like had like 3 ACL injuries. Like that's my boy Musera. He's Uruguayan. That's my guy. But like he's old as hell and his knees are gone. Like
Yeah.
just shoot the ball from distance at him. Like challenge him early.
Hmm.
Bruno did it.
Yep.
Bruno said, "I'm a, you know, I'm gonna give Bruno some props right now. Actually, he's one of those players. Like if he squares up like if he squares up and he's gonna shoot that ball, like it is scary because he's
Right.
got a really accurate shot.
He
Like he
had
can
that
place that ball.
he had the one that bounced off the post at the end too. That was a, very fucking close, good attempt,
I thought
past
it
the
was going in.
keeper. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
but ultimately, like I mean, we talked about it in the preview. Like they're gonna ship goals. Like they give up goals, and they did, but it wasn't it wasn't the goals we were expecting.
Right. Right. And I mean, I expect mistakes. And I said before, like, Onana has proven, and I hate to give ESPN FC Stevie any credit ever, but he said, and I quote, Onana has a mistake in him when United bought him. And he was so fucking right that, like, I hate to see that man vindicated. But he was right. And like at this point, what does United even do? We bring back the hat. I love that. Like, what's his name? The keeper who always wears the hat. He was on loan at Nottingham Forest last season. Hender, whatever. I don't know, but there's,
Dean
yeah,
Henderson.
Dean Henderson, right?
Yeah,
There's just no options. There's just no fucking options. They bought another keeper. I can't remember his name, because there was a couple games where Ten Hag had like 3 keepers on the bench, and it's like, what
yeah.
are you doing?
Well, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, basically, all the goalies are the same. Like,
Yeah.
there's not really like a goalie that's like so much better than another goalie. They all make mistakes. Like, every single goalie you've seen makes a big ass mistake. The only goalie I've seen not make a whole lot of mistakes like that is Ederson. But I've seen Allison do it. I've seen Thibaut Courtois do it. Like,
Hmm.
I've seen them all make really good saves, clutch saves, and I've seen them all make big ass mistakes.
Right.
They all do that. Like, so they're all the same basically. Like, you don't see a whole lot of matches where the goalie just it's like all their fault for 3 goals basically. Like, you don't really see a whole lot of that happening. But like they're basically all the same. Like, you're not gonna get like much better than Onana. Like,
Right.
you just gotta be like, dude, like, don't overthink your shit and just, we're gonna go in training and we're gonna shoot some balls at you and just save them and like smoke some weed or something. I don't know. Like, like, just can you get your shit together, please? Because we're trying to do something here. You're like, okay, and then like he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But no, that match was. I thought y'all had it.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I also thought we had it, and then I was standing in like an inch away from the TV at the end when Bruno had the one that bounced off the post. I was like halfway celebrating, and then, or when McTominay was just like a couple inches wide of the goal, or the fucking Palistri one where they fumbled the ball. It was almost an own goal, and then the keeper stopped it. I was yelling in the middle of the day in the middle of my apartment. But before you finish, you watched Real Madrid, right?
Yeah.
Napoli. Jose Lu.
Oh.
The way that, okay, so he missed like, okay, the when he first attempted the bicycle kick, I turned to my partner. I was like, he thinks he's him. He thinks like, that was just so fucking. And then after at the very end when he finally got his goal. Good goal. Good for him.
Yeah,
The way they celebrated around him was like he was the loser in
I
class and
know.
everyone feels bad for him, and then something finally good went his way. It was so sad.
I felt bad. Like I wasn't listening to the commentary. I watch all the games on mute.
Yeah.
But I'm like, did something happen to him? Because he just seemed sad. Like as soon as he started playing, like, did his house get robbed? Like,
Right.
did his
Is a
dad
member
get
of his
kidnapped
family
too?
kidnapped?
Exactly.
Like,
Like, what's going on? Because honestly, like I watch Real Madrid a lot, and Jose Luis has been a good player for them. Like he's
yeah.
solid. Like he's not gonna be like, scoring hella goals like that, but he's a solid center forward.
Mhm.
And like I don't think it's players miss chances. Like it's not like that serious, but like
Yeah.
maybe they were booing him a little bit or something. Like I don't know. But when Bellingham like go celebrate, fool, like
Right. It felt like, oh, well, we don't have to pity him, guys. Come on.
because even the one that like skied over, I'm like the ball bounced, it hit your shin, like it's fine, like you can miss that, dude. It's not like the end of the world. You're already winning, like it's fine, dude. Like, but
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was sad.
Yeah. That one, and then who was the match that was they were 3-0
Oh, was
Inter
it
and
Oh yeah, Inter and Benfica.
yeah.
Inter came back, and then PSV came back to beat Sevilla too. I think that was an early match too.
That was excellent. Yeah, I watched the
Yeah,
highlights of that. Cuz when United finished, it transferred over to
yeah,
the so I got to catch the last goal in that one. Mr. America, Ricardo
yeah.
Pepi.
So I'm like, oh, sure. I guess he's American. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess Sevilla's out, but whatever. Who cares?
Wait, are they out or they're going back to where they belong?
I feel
Europa
well. They're not a
League.
Champions League. I feel like they can end up in Europa, but they might not.
They have to. What else is the purpose of Sevilla if not to
Yeah.
win the Europa League?
What is the purpose of Europa League if Sevilla doesn't at least make it to the final?
Exactly. Exactly. Now, so I'll just end by saying, like, United, things are looking bad, especially after the result from from the Bayern Munich versus Copenhagen, the draw there. So United still bottom of the group. I have a strong feeling that because luck has never been on our side, we're gonna just be out. We're not gonna get Europa. Even if we did, we would get eliminated immediately. Like, and maybe that bodes well for regular season, but also sad and pathetic. And I have right now I want to say United is barely going to get Champions League again next season. Hopeful thinking, wishful thinking. Spurs on the decline now, create some space there for them. But we'll just have to see how it plays out. And shit sucks. It always sucks. Feels like shit every day. I should never let myself get my hopes up, and it sucks, like, because I never got to enjoy the good seasons of Manchester United. Like, when I started really watching was like right at their fall from grace, and like all of the post Fergie, the hot mess. I was in the weeds watching Ralph Rangnick fucking Manchester United. Bad shit. So I just want, like, and everyone hates United, right? Because they're like the winningest team or whatever. But I didn't ever get to enjoy that. So I've just been forced to suffer. But I'm also a Cubs fan, so used to that. And my dad was a Browns fan, so maybe it's something that we inherit, in my family.
Caesar says that you're a real soccer fan because this shit is only stress and pain.
It hurts. It hurts. And like I used to go to the soccer bars because there's a lot here in Chicago. One time I was at Globe Pub here, and so was Greg Bearhalter. And I wish I had known at the time what I know now, because I would have asked him why he kicked his wife, but which is objectively like the funniest way to do spousal abuse. Like, you kicked her? What is
That's on.
that?
It's on brand.
What is that? Like you're just mad at her and you go, ah, and you kicked her. Like,
It was a free kick. Okay, that's bad.
all
Yeah,
right.
I'm not a fan of any team. I used to be into American football. Oh, nice, perfect. I love that. Yeah, I don't have any like fandom. And that's a great thing because honestly, like being a fan, it does suck. It's stress and pain. Caesar, one of these days you got to get up in here, doggy. You swear like you're not invited. I'm trying to act like you've been banned. You know, the link is right up there. It's right there. But yeah, Shadowband episode 3. We'll be back Monday, hopefully. No episode tomorrow. And yeah, holler.